We have a picture here of Curwen Aries Rolinson sitting next to a person from Mana who has somewhat of a... is that cerebral palsy I detect in the face? I don't know. Maybe the Mana t-shirt is enough. Now he has said... Now Curwen Aries Rolinson, can we just iterate for the public, who is this guy specifically?
He is the leader of New Zealand, the Nationalist youth wing, and he has a penchant for dressing up in suits that look like the 1970s Gestapo.
The 1970s Gestapo. That's right. Yep. The Fourth Reich did not get defeated; it just changed venues and style.
He sees himself as many. I think he could see himself fitting into many movie roles, anything from Cobra, although he's not built like Stallone, to some sort of 70s porno, to like...
Oh, no.
I don't know, he wears his aviators like he thinks he's Cruise out of Top Gun. I'm not sure. He seems to be very confused. Definitely on a sort of complete sick power trip.
He's also an extreme nationalist, too.
Yeah, he would just kick out all the foreigners and just have this place... I don't know, well, maybe he'd have to kick himself out, too. I don't know where he... hails from genetically.
He talks like nationalism like it's a good thing. I mean, nationalism's probably responsible for some of the greatest evils in world history. No wonder he dresses up like a hippie Gestapo member.
But remember, the Nazis weren't socialists. Just because they called themselves National Socialists and just because they arranged the entire economy in a socialist fashion doesn't mean they were socialists, okay? And the National Socialists weren't nationalists either.
Just because they were so insanely proud.
They put out an olive branch to all the Jews and to all the foreigners and to all the disabled people. They were loving people. We've just got them wrong.
Now, shall we go ahead? I just wanted to ask who he was. I didn't expect an entire analysis of his of his existence from a godly perspective. Now, so he goes on to say, "Okay, so I was wrong. It turns out there was," that was in all capitals, by the way, "something to see there." Quote, "After marching up Queen Street at a healthy clip, they reached Aotea Square to find it was already booked out." I mean, what do you mean they found out that it was already booked out? This is a quote from the Stuff article, which we'll actually go into directly after this one. No word yet on whether the Christian group outnumbered the stand down Len Brown crowd yet. There was about maybe 50 of the Christians group that were singing behind us, but of course they started singing basically after we'd finished all of our speeches, and I think there was mutual respect between the groups there.
I'm surprised that they booked out the whole square, though, because they clearly didn't need it. They set up one tent. Yeah. I thought it was going to be, like several thousand people attending a big evangelical thing.
To set the record straight, these people who just believe anything that comes from the media without being there or getting their facts straight, we knew weeks in advance that another group had Aotea Square booked. Hence, we were to go to Airedale Street. I spoke with an officer who was leading the motorcade down the bottom of Queen Street, and I asked him if there was space at Aotea, and he said he'd radio up and find out. When we got to Aotea, there was plenty of space. The Christian group was thinly dispersed in the middle of the square. The square is a designated free speech zone, as I understand. All these leftists and commies are meant to appreciate that everyone can just come together, and we have these spaces where we can have this freedom of speech. But apparently it doesn't apply to us. If it's not speech I don't like, it doesn't apply to us. So the officer said, sure, you can go there. You can don't go fully into the square. Remain on the sidewalk sort of area near the statue and direct the speakers sort of away from the Christian group. Turn the volume down a little bit for them, which I did. And I also got on the mic and thanked the Christian group for their tolerance. So, I mean, there was no problem there. They know it's not an issue. They're trying to misdirect and make issues because they're running defence for their retarded little mayor, Len Brown. And they are little citizen slaves, like Bomber says, Citizen A, whatever he calls himself. He loves being a subject of just sick, freak weirdos like Len Brown.
Might we continue reading on here, because it actually goes to iterate your point again? Well, one of the anti-Brown band complained the Christians had booked before them, so they insisted on gathering around the statue of the famously philandering, longest-serving mayor, the late Dove Meyer Robinson.
Oh, now I really want to get into that paragraph there.
Go ahead.
Okay, so who out of the anti-Brown band complained to who? How could they possibly know that if it were true?
I know they're the conspiracy theorists here. They just throw conjecture around. Absolutely no facts. Absolutely
that's just been completely made up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the anti-Brown, none of the people organising the march complained about the Christians booking it. I mean, I'd known weeks in advance and had made other arrangements, and then to make that swipe about the philandering previous mayor, well, I don't care about Len Brown's philandering anyway, so I don't know why it's relevant.
I think it was merely an attempt to tie down the protest. Again, we see the repetition of the pattern. Ignore the financial scumbaggery, ignore the corruption possibilities, ignore the lies and everything, just make it all about sex. All about sex, because sex sells, doesn't it? And also it completely derails any argument that we would have on any rational basis, even though we've made and stipulated a number of times repeatedly, both to the media and even to the crowd themselves, that is not the reason that we're really here. It's actually the other things.
I can't imagine sex with Len Brown or Dove Meyer Robinson would sell very much, but
I mean, apparently we're boring though. Like, you know, Bomber finds us boring. Len Brown apparently is captivating. Maybe he's seen the videos. Maybe I'm not sure. I mean, I'll just be theorising there. But it could be a reason why Bomber never comes out, never sees the light of day, and just remains to be, you know, an unhealthy little cretin. But
he had a 15-minute a week on Triangle.
Oh, whoop-de-doo.
Actually had 15 minutes per week, and then it got expanded to like 30 minutes a day or something like that on the Citizen A.
Oh, well, now you tell me that.
Wasn't the government subsidising him to do that?
I don't know I don't have that information, but we've almost finished this Curwen's response, so let's get through it, and then we can get into the Stuff article, which I believe is actually the juiciest part of the analysis we're doing today. Oh, and then a few self-identified gay activists turned up to tell the mayor not to stand down. So congratulations, Stand Down Len Brown. It's actually Len Brown Stand Down. You've managed to accomplish nothing other than, T-A-H-N, that's a nice little spelling mistake there, uniting gays and Christians.
How did they know they were gay activists? I saw no rainbow flags, I saw no limp wrists. I didn't see any men kissing each other.
I didn't see them using the words fabulous.
I spoke to one of them, and he didn't seem to be, you know, forward in himself. No, I'm kidding. But the thing is here, what the Stuff article tries to do also, which Curwen's taken some of those excerpts from, is say that we were somehow anti the Christian group and anti-gays and also right-wing moral crusaders, which gives this kind of Colin Craig-ish flavour, all at the same time. You know, myself, I couldn't give a damn about people's sexuality. Stephen can define his own sexuality. He's obviously not anti the four gay people who are supposedly protesting us.
I'm a right-wing homosexual homophobe who hates gays.
You're a self-hating homosexual, aren't you? You're a bad person.
Yeah, I agree. He's just a bad man.